Hi everyone, welcome to an exclusive session on Cloud ERP presented by the Economic Times in collaboration with Epicor, a leading software solutions and services company. I'm your host Neha Vashisht Mahajan. Our topic of the day is Cloud ERP, its implementation in the automotive industry and how it has changed the game for the sector. Now, before we start, let me quickly introduce all the speakers that we have with us today. So first on the panel, we have Mr. Vishal Raj Saini, Country Head, India and Indian Subcontinent, Epicor Software. Our second speaker is Mr. Ashish Sinha, Head of Operational Excellence, India Operations, Autolive India. And our final speaker of the day is Parna Ghosh, CIO, Uno Minda Group. Thank you so much everyone for joining us today.
Thank you, Neha. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Ghosh.
Thank you. Thank you for introduction.
Thank you.
So, all right. Before we jump into discussing cloud ERP for the automotive sector, let me quickly request Mr. Vishal to just shed some light on what exactly it is and how it is different from traditional ERP software.
Thanks, Neha. And when you said quickly, I'll try. So basically, see, cloud itself is, I believe, on a lighter note, maybe the most misused, misunderstood word in the IT space, right? Because wherever we go, it has a different definition. So when I go to a large enterprise like Minda or Mr. Ghosh, I'm quite sure the guys are well versed with what cloud is, what type of clouds are, and which one is better for which industries. They know plus and minuses of different type of clouds, right? But on the contrary, if we go to a mid-size or small company, they are like, I want a cloud ERP, right? And they does not or do not have capacity to really go in and understand what is the meaning in each of those type of clouds. I've seen cases wherein they put all the cloud vendors or ERP vendors in one category and price takes the front seat. Basic definition is it's a basic deployment methodology of an ERP. So it could be software as services, where there are two type of software as services. One is multi-tenant, wherein you are basically sharing services with other customers. When I mean services, it could be the hardware, database, space, performance. It's shared by everybody in that particular domain. So, for example, if you want to relate it with automotive, it could be a shuttle service, right? In a shuttle, you're going with a lot of customers, and it has a specific set of stocks, and it's going to start from one place and will end one place. You cannot really custom it. Then you have something called a single tenant, which is like a dedicated space, performance, database for you as a customer, right? You can relate it like an Uber. It's meant for you. It will drop you where you want. The third is, of course, our traditional model, which is on-premises, wherein you buy the licenses, you deploy your own hardware, you own everything. It's like buying a car, right? You are the owner of everything. Then there is a fourth thing, which is called infra as services, wherein you are taking licenses at one go, but infrastructure is on cloud. This is also cloud, right? But you know what I have been, what my SLAs are, what is my guarantees on performance and other things. It's more like probably, if I have to relate, it's more like leasing a car, right? So these are the four deployment methodologies. End of the day, three out of them are cloud and falls under cloud in a way. But when you are buying a solution, the experience has completely changed. Earlier, I think, in my view, Mr. Ghosh may have a different view, but earlier it was much simpler to license a product. Number of users I buy license, I'm home. But today, because of cloud, there are different SLAs. It's very complex in a way to really understand what I'm getting into as a customer. It could be very simple how I will be billed, right? Is it a predictable billing? Where my data controls are, where it resides, what will happen if I have to exit a cloud? Is there a strategy behind it? Will I get an Excel sheet dump of my data, or I'll get a database out of it? Or for that matter, on cloud, you have to upgrade every 6 months or quarterly based on what product you choose. and how do you strategize that for your company? So it's a really, really complex world now. It's not an easy decision, but yes, some companies are just taking price. When taking a decision, they're taking price and brands maybe as one of the parameters. But ideally, they should get into much more details, because normally cloud contracts are long-time contracts, not just one-time contracts. So that's
Right.
my two cents of it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Mr. Vishal, my next question is also to you, just to kickstart the session. Since we're talking about automotive sector, how do ERP solutions that are specifically tailored for the automotive sector contribute to aligning the manufacturing processes when it comes to the Make in India campaign goals?
Um, See, honestly, Make in India as a campaign. The aim of Make in India is to put India in the world map as manufacturing hub. It for multiple industries. In this forum, we are talking automotive, right? And to achieve that or make that to happen, will we have to not just rely on large enterprise, but also small and medium companies has to really transform, and improve the overall efficiency and competence in their organization. And I think that's where ERP comes and play a role when it comes to improvement on technology. You have streamlined operations, you have better planning, better quality controls, paperless operations. These are the things which ERP can provide: better cash flow management, predictability. The system is running MRP for you, so it gives you better purchase contracts and suggestions. So those are the basic benefits of ERP, which any company can start with. But to conclude, I think ERP is important. It's like when you're constructing a Lego board, right? The first board is what I'll call an ERP, and then over and above you put all Lego bricks to build whatever your organization wants as a digital story. That's what I think, where ERP
All
plays
right.
a role.
All right, all right. So now coming to Mr. Ashish. Mr. Ashish, what are the key challenges ERP solution providers encounter when they're serving automotive manufacturers in particular? And especially if we talk about the stringent quality, regulatory, and security requirements as well. What are the key challenges, and how can these challenges be addressed and overcome?
So, talking about the challenges, because I have seen that migration from manual working to automatic, because I have worked in Maruti, Tata, some manual companies which are not still using ERP systems. So, like Maruti was first using the ERP. We are completely based on ERP. So, and we are finally migrating from to ERP as well as integrating the multiple ERP platforms together to get the final result. So, the basic challenge is the mindset, Indian mindset. Not only I'm not talking about the whole, the Indian mindset, because the people are very much worse with the manual working. So now
Yeah.
the new generation, it is now accepting. So people like us, people like new people who are coming from the graduating from the college, they are accepting it, because as one of the speaker told, that it is a paperless operation. So first and the foremost benefit of the ERP in automotive sector is paperless operation, because in manufacturing sector we use hell lot of paper. Starting from end to end operation, if I'm talking from the supply chain till the customer dispatch, it is number of papers which we are using. So major challenge was converting from paper operation to paperless is the first challenge, because people mindset was very difficult to change. But now, since starting from the basic stage, we started from the basic stage. We started from the shop floor employee, because the shop floor is the most number of employees you are engaged. So initially, what we were doing, we give you just an example. We were doing 5S audit. 5S is just a basic methodology on the shop floor. We were doing based on paper. Now we have connected it into our MES platform. So we have our own MES which is connected with our one of the ERP platform, and now it is now displayed also. Now the second challenge of ERP is the traceability. Traceability is the another issue, because initially there was the problem that the manual traceability was there. People know remember the part number, because they were very old. They were working in the industry from last 20-30 years. So now when this ERP system came, that part of traceability is now transferred to ERP, and that too with 100% accuracy. Not nearly 100%, 99.9% accuracy. Still there is a inaccuracy issue of 0.1%. So So not only ERP implementation, the integration of ERP is also very much important, so that one ERP can play with another ERP, and then the final outcome is the data visualization, so that we can take the data driven decision, which is not only like initially we were using reactive methodology in maintenance in manufacturing sector. Now we have moved to preventive. Now we are moving towards predictive, so that
Right.
in an easy way I can say that if something is going to be happen, we all are aware about it from the from the past. Like in future what is going to be happen, we all know now. So that is now this ERP system has provided that much feasibility to us, so that now our most of the time goes into the improvement part, which was
Yeah.
initially going into the firefighting part.
Well,
So that is
you explained it pretty easily and in a very simple manner. So thank you so much, Mr. Ashish, for explaining that. And now I'll jump to Mr. Panna Ghosh from Uno Minda. Mr. Panna, how do you see ERP implementation strategies evolving to adapt when it comes to factors like geopolitical challenges, supply chain disruptions, and tech advancements?
So, thank you, Economic Times and Epicor for inviting me in this, webinar. Uh, First of all, if you look at the COVID time, you see the disruption which happened in the semiconductor industry, and today itself, we are still struggling with the supply chain. Although it is almost, you can say, 90% resolved, but still there are challenges. There are waiting periods for the cars or two wheelers to be delivered to the customers because of non-availability of semiconductors. So this was one of the learnings which everyone has taken, and system can solve some of the areas, but certain other geopolitical challenges will always be there, which are obviously physical in nature. This is not digital. So the digital world and physical world has to actually talk with each other, and then there can be a good synergy in terms of the operations. Now, coming back to your point of how ERP can, ERP strategies can help in adapting this. Now, the point here is we all use the traditional, ERP systems, as Mr. Vishal was mentioning that it's cloud ERP's advantages. I'm not going into the details. So the traditional ERPs will be having the basic P2P, or we call it procure to pay process, order to cash, plan to produce, or even record to report, hire to retire. These kind of processes are already part of the core ERP process, which is very traditional and is going on for last 30 years. Now, coming back to the cloud ERP, the advantage of cloud ERP, as I think our gentleman friend from Autoliv was mentioning, is having a lot of other advantages, like it is integrated with the MES solutions, which are more on the manufacturing execution sides. There is the advanced planning side, which is for forecasting, budgeting, and planning. There is supply chain planning side, which will be more to towards the suppliers and customer order fulfillment side. And also the supply chain, when I'm saying it can also integrate with your tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and so on and so forth. So the advantage of the cloud ERP solutions are these are scalable, these are expandable, these are integrated with many other applications, even with social media, even with your employee connectivity. This has a very good integration point, and this really helps in supporting your strategies better, your future better, and also looks for better integration and better, I will say, accountability in terms of organization preparedness. Now, the last point I want to highlight here is this cloud ERP solutions has technology advantages as well. Now, if you have a on-premise ERP, you need to always look for upgradations or any kind of small changes. Also, you need to take a downtime. You need to take a lot of user challenges will be there. And now, like example, we have 1750 users in ERP. So obviously, and multi-geography. So obviously, it's very big challenge. Sometimes there is a holiday in India, but not in Korea or Vietnam or Indonesia. So you face always this kind of geopolitical challenges in terms of ERP downtimes. But cloud ERP happens seamlessly at the back end, and you won't be facing any downtime or any kind of disruptions in your operation. So I think these are the advantages you get. Not only from the from the geopolitical or supply chain disruptions, or also from the technological advancements. Thanks.
All right. So now moving on to the next part of our session. My next question is to Mr. Vishal. Mr. Vishal, could you provide some examples of how Epicor's ERP solutions have positively impacted automotive component manufacturing operations, especially if we talk about real-time analytics, streamlined processes, and improved customer experiences out there?
Yeah. See, real-time analytics, streamlining the operations, processes, and the last one is improved customer experience. Right, there are three different topics in itself. Right, of course, ERP can cater most of them.
Hmm.
If I look at to our customer base specifically in India, for example, we have one tire manufacturing company. When they started with us, I think 4 years back, they were about 100 CR, 50 users. Today, they are touching 3,000 crores with around 300, 400 users. Right? They scaled from around 200 SKUs to 1,000 SKUs today. And if you understand the scalability of the product was there, it was not just scalability for them because they were adding more users, more companies, expanding, as Mr. Ghosh said, multiple locations,
Hmm.
time zones. The challenge becomes that the system, it has to mold as your business grows. More complexities has to be taken in. So we were able to achieve that. So flexibility, scalability is another important aspect when you look and deploy ERP, because today you could be a small company or a mid company, and then your aspirations are always to grow, right? So, and ERP is an investment to future any which way. It's not for today's operation. That's what I believe. And so they were able to achieve that. Another was more around advanced MES, which is manufacturing execution system, wherein customers were able to have. In fact, in automotive space, this is an OEM requirement to provide traceability today to capture what is produced at what temperature, what were the test results, and
Hmm.
this is all required to backtrack if there is a faulty product. This is a new, not new, but it has been a norm which has been getting more important today in at least in automotive OEM world, and those kind of functionalities. Then you have the overall equipment efficiency, of the shop floor, because you have connected machines coming in. You have machine reliability, things like mostly all automotive require MTVF and MTTR, right? Mean time to failure kind of reporting, those kind of things. These are the things we provide, depends on the size of the customer. Then we have a tier two vendor, which that customer does not have budgets or capacity to deploy advanced MES kind of application. So we still go ahead and deploy something called as data collection, which Mr. Ashish was also talking about. That we on the shop floor provide devices wherein a user can log in and say, okay, this is what I'm going to work today on, and this is what I have produced. I've taken this much time. Maybe there was a delay because of some reasons. You can track that. The advantage is, instead of making logbooks, a paper logbook, and then consolidate after a shift, and then trying to do a postmortem of why what was produced late. Those kind of things can be automate in a way which is digital, paperless, but it's not completely automotive. So we do that also for customer, especially in SME space, because you can understand the technology also take investments, and they want to have something reliable, and it's a change management end of the day. So they want something easy to use, and then gradually transform to, as they grow, they can adopt advanced technologies like advanced NA. So we have tried to give you three different examples, three different customers in different segments, how we help them as Epicor. Thank you.
All right, all right. So, Mr. Vishal, I think you explained it really easily, really nicely, and your examples clarified how ERP solutions have impacted these companies, these manufacturing operations so deeply. My next query is to Mr. Ashish, and since we're talking about automotive sector, I want to understand there have been some structural shifts in the Indian manufacturing sector also. So, if we specifically talk about the automotive sector, how does cloud ERP contribute to these structural shifts?
So, as far as structural shifts are concerned, I have worked into a most manual organization. Then I came to a most automotive organization, or more automatics, artificial intelligence, ERP, MES based platform organization. So the shift I have actually field that I can explain you. The shift is that first of all, what is there? Something, the logic which was there in your mind, now the logic is open to everybody. Data visibility is very much become easier. You can take your decision based on data. Initially, that it was based on the experience, is on the basis of perception. Now that structural shift is also now I have been into Korea a few months back. I have seen that complete shop floor was manpowerless. No manpower was there. Every part movement was through AMR and AGV. AGV was very basic concept which we have read in our books and all, but now AGV has gone to a next level. AGV is now merged with ERP, as well as they are using artificial intelligence. Something that those some part has already come into India. Few of the companies are using it, but since the capex is too much high, so that much tier two, tier three companies they cannot able to afford it. But if you talk about the benefit part, the benefit is huge. So they need to
Okay.
take a risk to go up to that level, because now artificial intelligence are also coming into the market. So ERP, after few years, what will happen? ERP will now integrate with artificial intelligence. So something which you are doing simulation through your own mind. Now simulation softwares are there. They can integrate
Yeah.
with API connectivity through ERP, and then they can display you, okay, whatever you are thinking in your mind, now it is there on the system, in front of your eyes. So the challenge part will be there. The challenge part will be, I told you earlier also, the challenge part will be there in terms of mindset only. Because I have been with the different geographical people. What I have observed, that Indian mindset is little different. Indian mindset is very sharp. That is also, Indians are very sharp, but the only thing is they need to accept it that yes, it is feasible. Because in India itself there are many manufacturing organizations. They are completely shifting themselves from man-based solution to artificial intelligence and ERP-based solution.
Okay.
So now the skill level is also very much important. Now the manual skills will die away after some time. Now these knowledge, those skills are will be required in manufacturing sector. So that's all. This is
Okay. And can you also shed some light on some specific benefits of cloud ERP that are out there?
that are out there. First of all, that cloud ERP can easily get API connectivity. API connectivity through which you can display your software anywhere. They are using Power BI systems now. Now Excel is phased away slowly. Excel is phased away from manufacturing side. Very few area they are using Excel. So from Power BI they can display anything on the screen, on anywhere on the wall. You can go into the shop floor. You can know the health of the shop floor. You can know the health of your operations, starting from supply chain to safety to quality. They predict also some accidents nowadays.
Also, I feel that there is a better integration in terms of team, and then of course we have the inventory management also that improves a lot with this. So I think that is also something that that can be a part of the many benefits of cloud ERP.
Team integration will be there, but the only thing I told you earlier also, that mindset. Old team, new team, and then migration. This they should come up to some platform. They need to accept. New people are accepting this. Old people also need to accept it. This they are the benefit. But the human mind is supreme. Nobody beat human mind. Any ERP, any artificial intelligence, because humans only made them. The only thing is,
Definitely.
now human mind is used for that purpose which human mind is made. It will be used for improvement, not a daily jugglery or firefighting activities.
Very well put. Now, let's move to Mr. Parna. Mr. Parna, I want to understand what are the key best practices for implementing cloud ERP systems when it comes to automotive manufacturing sector specifically.
See, first of all, it's a big change management, as you know, change management with respect to technology, change management with respect to work culture, change management with respect to skills, as Mr. Uh, Vishal was mentioning, then change management with respect to uh, ways of working. I think the most important part is generally what happens. I don't want to name the companies. They implemented ERP around 15 years back, and they re-implemented again 10 years back, looking at the complexity they had in the system because of too much of customization and functional systems development. They re-implemented with complete standard features. So many times what happens is we want to make the system happen or work like the way we work, but actually the systems work better when it's remained as a standard. I'll give a small example. If you are using an iPhone and you try to make it as per your vision, will it will never work the way it is designed to. So ERPs are also designed to uh, you know perform as per the standard practices are concerned. So the most important is to define what is must to have and what is nice to have, what is mandatory and what is desired or something like that, essential versus desired. So this desired part can be developed or can be still skipped. So the top management commitment and the top management sponsorship, even the top management decision making, what is required and what is not required, is extremely important. Second thing is, when you do benchmarking with your peers or with your competition or even with non-industry competition, you know, to look at, are they really simple, are they really complex in nature? So we call it KISS, KISS. So we need to look at processes which can disrupt and which can make it simple, which should be which should have ease of use, which should not make life difficult for the users. I think these things are extremely important in taking a decision. And obviously, when you look for the cloud sort of ERP solutions, you also need to look at the cost advantage. Like you were mentioning earlier, in terms of inventory, those are the business cost savings, but I'm talking about the technology cost savings as well. Capex nowadays is a real challenge, because of working capital shortage everywhere. So no investor or no promoter wants to invest a lot of capex. So they want to go for OPEX models, which are pretty, easy and pretty spread out across number of years. And also the benefits can be realized faster and quicker, if whether you have ROI or you have the paybacks or something like that. So this can be achieved much quicker and faster once you're out of this capex strategy. So these are the advantages you have. And even you can take a staggered look at your investments, or in your invest or in your expenditure. So suppose you implement uh, two modules first and then go for two modules additionally, something like that. Many companies do like that. So instead of going big bang on all the modules in one shot, you go module by module and look at the adaptability and the changes happening in the organization, so that it gets imbibed into your DNA of the organization, and then you slowly go into the complete penetration and proliferation. So this is the way people generally involve, and I think I have seen this best practices going on, especially for the cloud ERP systems. And the advantage, I think everybody has shared, the integration, the APIs, as the last speaker was also sharing, and also the advantage to connect with various other, whether it is analytics, dashboards, or MES or APS, or so on and so forth, CRM, supply chain management. So it can give you a seamless experience in terms of users, and also the top management can achieve the benefits very quickly. But in case of a capex kind of a scenario, the staggered approach is much better, because capex, it loads a lot of cash, and the CFOs nowadays are expecting returns on investment in 6 months, 1 year kind of thing, which is absolutely not possible. So I think this way the cloud ERP looks to be much more simpler, easier, and also manageability wise, you have better advantage, in terms of you don't need a large, infrastructure team or a server or storage team to handle all your infrastructure. Everything is hosted on the cloud. So the platform advantage is also one of the advantage you get. These are the best practices generally we follow, and we obviously do comparison, cost versus advantage benefit. So there lies the story of cloud ERP picking up so fast in Indian industries.
Right.
Thanks.
So, Mr. Panna, just a follow-up question. You mentioned about advantages. Now, I want to talk about some challenges also. So, what are the some common challenges faced by automotive manufacturers when it comes to cloud ERP implementation? Specifically, if we talk about data migration, integration, complexities.
Good point, and I think Ashish already has mentioned the points very, very clearly. So I will just touch upon the points again.
Sure.
So one is the people change. No, so when you have change management within your people, Today you're using a platform for this collaboration and webinar. Tomorrow, if suddenly somebody says no, use another tool. So it's a change, and people generally aver to accept changes. It's for every society or every race or every country, if you see, or every industry rather. So I think change management is the biggest thing. So here lies the thing where the sponsorship or the top management focus is extremely important in sponsoring this change, and accepting this risk of change, of changing to a new thing. Second thing is, new ways of working. Obviously there will be challenges in terms of the way I am working today and the way I'll be working tomorrow. So this needs a continuous communication, awareness building and stuff like that. Third can be adaptability. So I still accept the change, but I am still not adaptable to the environment. Uh, so in the summers, the first few days are really good to handle, and then slowly the summer goes, really in a scorching like in Delhi we have right now, and it's really unbearable. So the adaptability is a big challenge. Every time adaptability is basically for the long term point of view. Then, since ERP is highly disciplined and it's regimented, it has a lot of pokayokes. Many people want flexibility in the operations. ERP generally don't give flexibility. It gives you obviously ease of use, but not flexibility. So generally in Excel's or Word kind of environment, you do change every now and then. But in ERP, you can't do like that. So this kind of change also is one of the important things to handle. How to have the controlled environment and without any flexibility given to the operations. Last but not the least is priorities. Now users will be having different priorities. They will be busy in the operations, they will be busy in creating strategies, they will be busy in deciding on the supply chain activities. So how to make them part of your ecosystem, part of your system, and make system in such a manner that it actually helps at the end of the day for making their reporting, their life easy, and also keep things going on. So I think most important is the top management commitment, the stakeholder commitment, a dedicated team which should work in this project, because many times we have seen that teams are getting defragmented, priorities are getting changed, and then the project goes into a toss. So I think that's very important. Then you do small pilots and look for quick successes, early successes, or even early failures, and then quickly, take the countermeasures and go ahead. So that's also another way of handling that. This kind of scenarios. So I think these are the main challenges as well as the countermeasures. I believe we have, in terms of ERP implementation, especially on the cloud side. Last but not least, when you have cloud ERPs, since it will be seamlessly integrated with multiple platforms and other applications on the customer side, on the supplier side, and even on the employee side. So going small, you fail early, get quick success, or the learnings, and again move ahead. So I think this is the better strategy, instead of going big bang and then fail big, and then you have a lot of demotivation in the teams, and people generally don't generally people are risk averse, and then they don't want to take further risks in future. So it's better to take small decisions, small pilots, fail early, learn early, and go ahead, move ahead with the learnings and countermeasures. I think that's the way ERP should be. So it should be more of an agile methodology instead of big bang methodology. That's, I think, the best part of cloud ERP, since it's modular, easy to deploy, quick to deploy, and also faster to for the adaptability part. So I think that's my take on the second part of the question.
All right, very well said, Mr. Panna. Lastly, I would like to ask Mr. Vishal, what are the future trends in cloud ERP adoption within the automotive manufacturing sector, and how do advancements in tech like AI, IoT, and predictive analytics shape the future of ERP systems?
Yeah. See, before ERP, since this is meant for automotive industry, right? So if you think about automotive industry, you will think of cars. When you think of cars, you will see think of dominant players which are there in the market, right? The old guys there from century, perfecting the art of producing a part, market segmentation, producing a car, perfecting their supply chain, right? So, and then comes a phone manufacturer, smartphone manufacturer, and say, I'll give you a car with $35,000, looking like a Porsche, 10 times more efficient, and not only that, they are able to convince over 100,000 people to deposit $850 within 24 hours. What I'm trying to bring in company like Xiaomi, right? Xiaomi SU7, if you've heard about what they have done now. So what is happening is, the bottom line is, technology is an enabler for new entrants like Xiaomi, for instance, and it is a disruptor for the old folks, right? So if you're not embracing the technology itself, you may end up like Nokia, for that matter, right? And then it's not just embracing; it's about continuous embracing. So even the first smartphone was BlackBerry. It's not no more there, right? Because they didn't continuously invested in technology. They went for smartphones. They never adopted the technology of touchscreen, right? And that's what cost them a lot. So this is what I'm trying to bring on this. Of course, an automotive industry not just have to adopt a technology, embrace it, but has to continuously change it, right? And that's what cloud gives you, right? The continuous of change can only happen if you are on cloud, a bus of cloud, right? Which will always be, because companies or people will always have certain learning from technology, but the cloud itself will grow faster from the adoption of technology per se. People will always be resistant to change, right? But technology won't. So if you are on cloud, which is always updated, on a fly, new technologies coming in, and you just embrace it and continuous change yourself. Probably agile can help, as Mr. Cole said. Uh, is a better way of looking and be sure that you are going the right path. Or you invest in your own technology, and that becomes itself a business unit for you, a cost center for you, to really do all that on your own. That's the advantage of cloud, is what I see. AI, predictive analytics, they are part and parcel of cloud deployments, and anything which comes future. Integration is definitely, if you look at Xiaomi's car today, it is integrated to the air condition at the home, right? If I'm in the proximity of my home air conditioner will automatically start, right? Think about that, and it's there. It's not future. They have already launched that kind of thing. So if we're not adopting that, either personally or from the folks which are large or small, and we are no more relevant. That's where I feel cloud can be there to make you relevant. That's what my two bits.
Definitely. And as they all say that the change is the only constant. So I think that goes very well with what you just explained to all of us. It was a very fruitful conversation that we had with each other today. It was very interesting to understand about cloud ERP and its adoption when it comes to automotive manufacturing sector as well. I want to thank each one of you for joining us today on the Economic Times. Thank you so much, Mr. Ashish. Thank you so much, Mr. Ghosh. And thank you so much, Mr. Vishal, for joining us today.
Thank you, Neha, Mr.
Thank you.
Ghosh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good
Thanks a
meeting
lot.
you, man. Cheers.
Have a great day. Have a great day.